Welcome to a very special edition on BritishNewsFlash.org. My name is Andreas Harrod, and I do have a very special guest. She's well known in all over the world, and she's right now in the Express Beats download charts. It's Tonnic, and she's many years on the stage, and she's a really good artist and able to perform a live a cappella, and she will bring it.
Okay, I'd like to do a song, it's called Rejoice, and I'll just try and do it quick for you now.
Thank you very much.
In the morning when I wake up, I take a sip from my coffee cup. The dawn brings a brand new day, and I feel assured things gonna be okay. Ain't nothing like the feeling of love for mankind and that special someone. 'Cause you know it turns the world around, though your life sometimes feels like it's upside down. I'm rejoicing.
Yeah. That was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm feeling great today.
Where comes your name Tonnic from?
Do you know, that's a very interesting question, and I get asked that quite a lot of times. Tonnic stands for the energy of music, the energy of life, and it's something that kind of helps me with the philosophy of what I think music is. Music is an energy. So as a performer, I like to think about this in the way that I interact with people, because music is about allowing people to interact and feel good and express themselves. So Tonnic is about expression, it's about feeling good, it's about energy.
What kind of music do you perform?
Well, predominantly the music is centered around clubland, club music, dance music. Work with DJs all around the world and doing live vocals to their music sets in clubs, or it may be live performances at music festivals and this kind of thing.
When you came to the knowledge that you have the talent to sing?
That's a very good question. I didn't always start off as a singer. I started off as a fashion model, and I started singing, well, I started writing and producing music first. And in 1997 I was asked to perform at a club called Trade in London, which is a very big dance club. It's predominantly gay, but it was a very important club as it launches a lot of big worldwide DJ names, etc. And I was asked to perform there, and that's where it started in 1997.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
What does music mean in your life? What does it mean to you?
Music is a life source, and it's very much a lifestyle for everyone, really, wherever you are in the world. No matter what your religion or your sexuality or any of these things, music is a very connecting force. It's a lifeblood. So it's very important to me, it's very important to everybody in culture. We can't live without the rhythm of life which music creates for us.
What are your songs about?
I think basically, and very importantly, it's about love. It's fundamentally about love. It's about expression. It's about the freedom to be, to let go, and yeah, I would say it's about love, because love is a very strong, positive thing.
How do you feel, and what does it mean to be on the stage?
That's a very interesting question. It's very magical to be on stage, and I'm always very appreciative of my audiences to be on stage, to perform for them. It's a real honour to be able to have an ability to sing and to entertain people, because I've found in recent years that it really touches a lot of people's lives. And when people come to me and say to me how they've experienced my performance and how they've engaged with my performance, and indeed how it makes them feel, I think it's a wonderful thing. And I think it's more about a gift from God. It's something that I never thought I would ever do, but you know, along life's path you find the road that you're going to take. And for me it's about music and the connecting force of music. So yeah, it's a very magical thing to be on stage, to perform. And it's not something that I take for granted at all.
How many CDs and records you have been able to publish?
Well, I've done a lot of writing over the years and get involved with production, you know, DJs wanting to do stuff. And to date, I've got a track that's going to be released on the end of September called I Love What You Do. And it's produced by Nick Denton for Tool House Music. And it's done very, very well in the clubs and on the download chart. So we will see. It's something that's been long awaited by my audience because they always want to have something of Tonnic to take home and play in their cars, in their home, that kind of thing.
You have a precious little daughter. How does your family think about music?
My precious little daughter was pretty much born on the scene. And by the scene, I mean on the dance scene, because I was still performing with her in my early stages of pregnancy. And so to date, she is very, very popular because people know a lot about her, because they always ask me how it is, my little daughter. My family are very, very supportive about the work that I do, because we were brought up around music. And it's lovely to have that kind of support, and to have a young daughter who is 4 years old who understands that mummy goes to work and sings on stage. And in fact, she's actually come with me to when I visited Asia, when I've done a tour in Asia, in Bali and Jakarta. She was there with me with all the DJs and everyone. And also for her first experience on stage to happen last year, we were in Brighton for a very big event, and it was a big festival, and she came on stage and said hello to the audience, and everybody was very excited because they loved the notion of seeing this little baby that they knew of when she was in the womb. So she's very much a baby born to music on the dance scene.
She likes music also?
She loves music. She absolutely loves music, and it's wonderful, as we talked about earlier, how music impacts on people's lives. So from an infant in the womb to when they're born to when you grow up as an adult, culturally, socially, whatever, music is the lifeblood, and I think we all experience that from birth.
Have you been taking courses how to learn how to sing?
No, I haven't. It's something that I found that I could do, because if I explain what I do, what I actually do is to improvise. So it's kind of constructing songs and creating melodies as I perform. So it's very organic. It's very now, and it's very live. And so, for example, I could be in a situation and I can construct a song about an individual as they stand in front of me, you know, and it's something that I found that I could do, and not everyone can actually do. So that's a real gift.
Another real gift is that you love your audience, and you sometimes sing in the midst of your audience, which not all artists do. How is it? What kind of feeling is it to sing in the midst of the audience, to perform a live performance?
Well, I think that's another unique aspect of being an entertainer, because as you imagine, when you go to a venue to see your favourite artist, you see them on the stage, you can't reach them, you can't touch them. But the way that Tonnic works, and the whole feeling and philosophy and experience of Tonnic, is that it's interactive. So you can be part of the performance, and you can touch and express and feel the artist. And that's a wonderful, wonderful and unique aspect of my work. And it's great. It's great because having this close contact with my audience is just amazing. It's amazing.
You are on the top download charts.
Yes.
You have some success.
Yes.
You have quite a lot of success recently. How do you deal with success?
Really, I just take it as something that is an honor. So I'm always overwhelmed by the responses I get from people all over the world when I travel, that people will actually come to see me. And I think if you take that humbled aspect of the work that you do it from the heart and you do it with love. It's something that you appreciate as much as your audience appreciates. So I appreciate my audience as much as they appreciate me. And I think that is rooted in the way that I perform and the way I experience what I do.
You have to travel a lot around different places and all over the world. Which countries you have seen and which countries do you like?
Well, you know, this is a wonderful thing about what I do, and this is the main thing about the success, as we want to call it, about being an entertainer and travelling. I've seen some wonderful places. The fact that promoters and people like this would like to put me on a plane to go and sing in their countries is absolutely amazing. I've been to Brazil, I've been to most of Europe, I've been to America, and you know, each place is very individual and very beautiful, and the people, as they embrace me, I embrace them. So it's everywhere is so unique that they're all my favourite. I know that sounds such a cliche thing to say, but it is true. Everywhere is so beautiful, the planet is so beautiful, and to be able to visit these places is fantastic. So I love everywhere that I've been to.
When you've once got your idea about how to write a song, about to write something specific, which you might have experienced, how long does it take you to write a song?
Writing a song can take an hour, it could take a day, it could take a month. It depends on how you feel, especially for me. Sometimes I'd be given a piece of music and I listen to the music for some time and live with it, and sometimes it comes straight away, and another time it takes a little time to come through. So if a song is taking a little time to come through, I just tend to relax about it and just let it dictate the pace, and then you get something that you're actually happy with, you know, because this is a force of music. Rather than to work against it, I try to work with it. When I hear a piece of music, in the same way when I'm singing live and improvised, I hear the piece of music and I get a feeling, and so that's how the song evolves and develops. And that's the basic route that I take when I'm writing songs. So it can take a day, or an hour, or it could take however long. There's no set pace.
What does the British way of life means to you? Well,
the British way of life? Well, I'm a pretty easygoing person. I think the British way of life can sometimes be very fast-paced. It's very Britishness in the sense of, you know, some of the traditions of being British, like in the good English breakfasts of sausages and eggs and things like this. That is great. But the good thing about being British now is that we can open ourselves to lots of different cultures, and we have growing communities here in the UK, and so it's become Britishness has become very colourful, and that's lovely.
How do you think about London, the city of London?
Oh, I love the city of London, and I suppose coming back to your earlier question about travelling and seeing different places of the world, no matter where I am in the world, there's no place like home. So London is very much in my heart, and I miss it when I'm away. because when you come back to the City of London, historically, the vibe, the energy, you know, the pace of London is fantastic. It's so unique. I mean, each city in the world is unique, but London has so much history and culture and everything. It's fantastic. It's a real eclectic mix, but you have the, you know, places like Houses of Parliament, and you have all these kind of Victorian buildings, Gothic 17th century, 13th century buildings and stuff, alongside the up and coming, you know, new architectural modernist buildings and stuff. So it's kind of, it's very, very interesting. London, you know, it's a very, very interesting place to visit, so you must come over.
If you would have a choice to live in a city, to live in a country, which country would you choose, or which city would you choose?
I really fell in love with Bali when I was there. I love the little Balinese children. I love the people, their energy. The way that they embrace young children, young babies. They're very reverent. The landscape of the place, the climate, the pace. You know, of course, if you're more in the more busy areas like Kuta, where, you know, it's very touristy and a lot of clubs and the energy's there, that's where you get most of your performances. But when you go out into the more country, rural areas, you have beautiful landscapes and very peaceful, restful place. It's lovely. I think that's where I want to be.
What are you planning for the future?
What am I planning for the future? That's a very good question. To continue in what I'm doing, continue to be blessed in what I'm doing, to continue to meet people and engage with them through what I do, and hopefully maybe to get more involved in doing charitable events and putting the feeling of music into where it can really impact and help people. Because as I've travelled, I've seen a lot of poverty, and it saddens me. And when I see these things, you know, when I'm travelling, I tend to get very involved with communities that I come across, because it's so different and extreme from the way that I'm treated when I go away. So it's lovely to be able to engage in these communities that are at a disadvantage. So I think for the future I'd like to do something where I'm doing more of an outreach situation. So if anyone needs my help, I'm glad I'm here. I'd love to do that.
What would happen if you would be in a live performance and suddenly the power would van off?
I have actually had that situation before, and what I've actually done is just sing live without the music, whilst my technical people are running around trying to get it right. The show must always go on.
But does this mean you would be able to perform a cappella live?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So you wouldn't be scared about doing something like this?
No, not at all, not at all.
That's quite interesting.
It is very interesting. And when you do live performances, the rule of thumb is that you've got to very much be prepared for anything. So if the power fails, which it has done, you just keep going. Yeah, that's a sign of a very good performer.
You mentioned to be blessed and to receive some blessings. What means faith and religion in your life?
Faith and religion in my life is very, very important, because without it I don't think I could really possibly be. Faith and having a belief system is something that's quite fundamental, in the sense that no matter what life can throw at you, when you have your ups and downs, you've got a bigger source or belief that you can transpose those feelings to, and it's almost kind of, it helps you to connect spiritually, because I think you are not just here in the physical sense. And if I'm talking about the energy, as I mentioned earlier, we're talking about spirit and we're talking about these things. So it's something that people feel, and if I have a bigger spirit in my life, and I think it's just like a channel that channels through to somebody else, because it's what I believe, and it's very much part of me, and it helps me to be. So faith and having belief is very, very important. In the morning when I wake up, I take a sip from my coffee cup. The dawn brings a brand new day, and I feel assured things gonna be okay. Ain't nothing like the feeling of love for mankind and that special someone. 'Cause you know it turns the world around, though your life sometimes feels like it's upside down. I'm rejoicing.
Thank you very much for this interview indeed. I wish you for the future only the best.
Thank you so much. Peace. We're out of here.